So I read somewhere that someone said that you're a man or used to be a man.
Yeah, I read that as well.
Truth?
Apparently my name was Tom.
This thing used to be a man, bruv.
Bonnie Blue finally responded to the rumors about her being a man, but don't expect her answer to be completely clear. On Standout TV, when the host bluntly said, "Hey, people think you're a man," she just laughed it off with a sarcastic, "Apparently my name was Tom." Girl, what? That's not a denial. That's not clearing your name, that's deflecting with a smirk and hoping people forget. She didn't say yes, she didn't say no. She just gave us a weird deadpan joke and immediately pivoted to talking about how she'll with literally anyone, which, sure, go off. But maybe answer the actual question, because that little brush off did not stop the internet. If anything, it made it worse. Now people are really running wild, convinced that Bonnie Blue isn't Bonnie or Blue, or even a girl, just Kyle Butler in a wig, allegedly. And apparently, before Kyle, there was Tom. Yeah, people think she used to be a whole dude named Tom. Tom.
So I read somewhere that someone said that you're a man or used to be a man.
Yeah, I read that as well.
Truth?
Apparently my name was Tom.
This thing used to be a man, bruv. Would you do a thing like that, like the thousands mans?
Yeah, like, I don't have a problem with it. There's nothing I can't handle. Like, I will take anyone and everyone. Like, I'm not saying that's my preference. Would I date a person?
When you say anyone and everyone, yeah, what if they were like like, how about if it's like, would you sleep with like big, like fresh out of the ting?
He did like the and stuff, didn't he?
Yeah,
Like, I do really like them documentaries, but probably shouldn't have.
But like for the iconicness of it, like, would you be like, yo, I clotted and
I made and blow.
That's
I mean,
what I'm
quite a good headline, wouldn't it? That would be a great headline.
There's a rumor going around that Bonnie wasn't always Bonnie, that she used to be a dude. Like transitioned in her teens, rebranded, and built this whole OnlyFriends empire on top of it. And to be clear, nobody pulled that theory out of thin air. This kicked off hard after she got banned and suddenly everyone was digging into her past like it was a treasure hunt. No receipts, no denials from her team, just silence. Which, let's be real, only made it worse. When a whole chunk of the internet thinks you've been faking your identity and your team just says nothing, yeah, that's gonna fuel some fires.
Oh my God, no way. So there's now speculation that Bonnie Blue was actually a man, someone called Kyle Butler, and born in 1985. I'm not sure if this is real, but it's going viral. Kyle Butler had to change when he was 13 and then became Bonnie Blue. Bonnie Blue. And all them men that enjoyed Kyle Butler, eh? Kyle Butler. Damn. You've not seen this, you've not read this story. It's everywhere. Look at his face. Kyle Butler. Before he had to change at 13. I wonder if those 2,000 men are going to be queuing up now in June, isn't it? Isn't it this month? She wants to be in a box, or he wants to be in a box. He wants to be in a box, and he wants to fill your wood, all those 1,000 men that were doing it with Kyle Butler.
Now half the internet thinks she's trolling and the other half is convinced she's hiding something. And honestly, neither would be shocking. This woman is chaos in a crop top. Her whole brand is shock value and confusion. So yeah, it would make sense if this was some elaborate stunt, but it would also make sense if she just never told anyone she transitioned and hoped no one would notice. So now people are stuck wondering, is this just a wild PR stunt, or is she really just Kyle in a wig running a long con? Either way, it's weird. It's giving mid-transition with a ring light and no shame. And the more you look into it, the messier it gets. She managed to get herself permabanned from, like, not a warning, not a slap on the wrist, gone. And honestly, that's the only thing that's not shocking about her. This girl was on a speed run to get banned. The final straw, a stunt so unhinged it made everything else she did look like play. She called it the Bonnie Blue Petting Zoo. And no, that's not a joke. That was the actual name. So here's what she thought was a good idea. Lock herself inside a glass box for 24 hours, just lying there while random strangers come in and, in her words, do basically whatever they want. She straight up planned to let 2,000 dudes have a go at her in one weekend, like she was trying to break some kind of Olympic record in degeneracy. And people were supposed to just roll through, take turns, and treat it like an all-you-can-ruin buffet.
What challenges do you have next?
Bonnie Blue's Petting Zoo. I am going to be in a glass box, up, and it's going to be open for the public.
Oh my God.
Get me in the box, but people can join me, me, touch me, just look at me.
Where?
I'm going to be in the centre of London, but in a house.
Oh, okay. Not
In a
like,
house, in a
right,
glass
okay.
box, yeah.
'Cause I was thinking like David Blaine.
I mean, I'd love to be on the back of a lorry in a glass box, my way through the London.
Right.
That would probably be illegal.
Probably.
So I want to do 2,000.
2,000.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Obviously, the internet exploded, not in a fun way, in a how is this even legal way. People were calling it what it was: dangerous, unhinged, and borderline criminal. There were legit concerns about consent, laws, safety, and just basic human decency. Like the kind of thing you'd expect from a dystopian horror film, not some chick on a creator platform. Everyone was asking the same thing: how the hell was this allowed? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. Needed her off the platform immediately. Done. No appeals, no second chances. She violated pretty much every part of their terms of service and acceptable use policy, like she speedran the banned list. And that was the end of her whole cash cow. Bonnie was reportedly making a fat monthly income off that site, and now? Gone. Wiped out. Hope she saved something. The event obviously got cancelled. Instead of taking the L quietly, she announced she'd replace it with some giant live stream, which, what, like that's gonna fix it? Girl went from a content creator to walking headline in 3 business days. And let's not pretend this was the first red flag either. The petting zoo was just the final dumpster fire in a long trail of trash decisions. The backlash was crazy. People weren't even arguing about morality at this point. They were straight up asking, how was this even legal? Like, hello? A woman tied up in a glass box with strangers allowed to do whatever they want? That's not edgy. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Everyone with half a brain was screaming about safety and exploitation because, duh, it literally sounds like a live-action crime scene setup. And then came the real firestorm. People started accusing her of promoting seriously dangerous behavior. Because when you say no limits and you're stuck in a public glass box, what exactly are you trying to invite? The whole thing sounded like a fantasy disguised as a PR stunt. Critics went in, saying she was glamorizing non-consensual interactions and pushing the idea that extreme violation was entertainment. The worst part is she's been defending her actions and justifying with 1,057 dudes in 12 hours. She said it felt like a heavy day in the bedroom. Which, girl, what kind of days are you having? She swears she was fine and didn't even need a wheelchair. And then it gets worse. She admitted the first guy didn't even use protection. First, like the one that sets the tone for the other 1,056? Her excuse? He was too excited and it was too hectic. That's not a quirky accident. That's a safety fail on level 10. But of course, she tries to spin it like it was inevitable, like it just had to happen eventually. Like it's just a bingo board of disasters and that was just a freebie.
The world is too freaked out, especially British people. What do you mean this grown woman is about to sit in a transparent box and let 2,000 different people do what they want to them? Yo, hey, I had to see this on my FYP. I saw this video and I've almost... Y'all need to relax, bro. What is going on over there in London, bro? Y'all keep producing hubris. You are too freaked out. Yo, I'm convinced. Yo, Bonnie Blue is the Diddy of London. I'm sorry, y'all too freaked out, bro.
A lot of people have started comparing Bonnie to Diddy and literally calling her the British Diddy. And honestly, they're not wrong. Bonnie's whole brand is one long, how far can I go before I get arrested experiment. From bragging about being with over 1,000 guys in a day to staging a literal human petting zoo where strangers could do whatever they wanted while she there in a box. This girl made exploitation her business model. And the worst part, she tried to rebrand it as empowerment. Like, no, babe. Weaponizing shock value and calling it feminism doesn't make it any less grim. And people love to say, well, it was consensual. Sure, but let's talk about that word. Because when your whole audience is boys and drunk university students, and you're live streaming your location at campuses while dangling barely legal bait for views, that ain't just messy, that's manipulative. She knew exactly what she was doing. Her stunts weren't about expression, they were about clout chasing wrapped in fishnets and red flags. Meanwhile, Diddy's name is being dragged through court documents for alleged stuff that goes way beyond clout. Actual coercion, abuse, manipulation, you name it. His mess isn't performative, it's allegedly criminal. let's not pretend Bonnie's not dangerous too, just in a different flavor. Her chaos is dressed up in memes and tweets, but at the core, it's still about control, controlling attention, controlling narratives, playing the victim when she's the one starting the fire. The ban wasn't some prudish crackdown, it was the platform finally saying, yeah, no, this ain't it. They let her run wild for months, and even they were like, too far. Calling her the British Diddy isn't even about fame, it's about the pattern, the manipulation. The way both of them blurred the lines between choice and pressure, then tried to spin it into some twisted power move. The way they built careers on being untouchable, and now everyone's finally saying, actually, we're good. Some people even think she genuinely hates herself. This one user on Reddit says, personally, I think it's glaringly obvious in her interviews how much she deeply hates herself and women. Others are even speculating if her content is even legit. Personally, I think it's fake. 1,000 men in 12 hours is 83 men an hour. They didn't even get a full minute with her. Bonnie wants to act like she's this Gen Z icon, a misunderstood girl boss pushing the limits. But what she's really doing is hiding behind buzzwords while actively wrecking the spaces she built herself in. Diddy's allegedly destroying lives in private. Bonnie's been doing it in public and laughing all the way to the bank.